So we're out on the range today to shoot some pistols. All right, we all want to shoot pistol better. I want to shoot pistol better. You want to shoot pistol better. Your grandma wants to quit hitting low left with her Glock. Okay, so we're gonna shoot two guns: a bone stock Glock 17. It's got a light on it, so it goes in my holsters. That's it. Nothing ever been done to this. And a Gen 3 Glock 19 with some shit on it. Okay, quick rundown. This is a Gen 3 Glock 19. It's got an Apex trigger kit in it. It's got a Brownell slide to hold this not RMR anymore, to hold this Holosun RMR footprint dot. It's got a Grey Ghost precision threaded barrel in it. And this thing's great, but so is this. And I can actually shoot this gun really well. So we're going to talk about super basics, okay? I am not a high level, whatever operator or John Wick we have at home guy, but I can shoot pretty all right. And I'm just going to tell you the things that have, come to me in the last couple of years that made me way better. So there's really a small handful of things that are going to do it. This is clear. We're out here by ourselves, so whatever. And it's going to be grip, trigger. That's mostly it, to be honest. Grip and trigger and, recoil control and not flinching. All right, which we'll talk about. Now, you want to get the web of your hand as high up into this little beaver tail as possible, all the way up in there. This gun will not bite you if you have it in there. All right. And I'm gonna use some basic ass terms for this. Okay. So you want to get way high up there. All right. Hold it good and tight. Okay. And then you want to take this hand and put it right on there. Okay. And block that up. And you want to squeeze the shit out of your firing hand with the support hand. Your support hand is going to do most of it. All right. And then thumbs nice and forward and squeeze the shit out of it. All right. With both hands, not this 60-40, whatever, but just squeeze the shit out of it. And if you want to get a little extra, twist your hands like this, like you're trying to pull a horseshoe apart. Okay. Now, what that'll also do is, if we're not locking our elbows out, if we keep them kind of like that, what we're going to be able to do when we get that good grip and squeeze the shit out of it, all right, and then twist our hands in like we're pulling the horseshoe apart, you see my elbows will flare out a little bit, and now I can feel I can feel biceps, I can feel delts, I can feel my chest. My whole upper body is holding this gun in place, all right? Not just my hands, not just my arms, but my whole upper body is holding that thing there, okay? Now, I'm going to bring it right up to my eye. I'm not going to do a bunch of ducking like this to get down there. Just put it in front of your eyeball, okay? So, gripping good, squeezing the shit out of it, pulling the horseshoe apart. It's right in front of my eye. Now, sometimes when I shoot, this thumb will kind of be on the slide a little bit. Doesn't matter, not going to mess it up. Even with the Brownell slide with the slide cuts, not going to be an issue, all right? So, we're going to whoop. Now, there's a lot of talk about what part of your trigger you should use. Should it be the pad? Should it be the crease? Whatever. Honestly, if your grip is right, it doesn't make that much of a difference. However, if you do use the pad, you can get a little bit more of a straight back pull, and that's the key. So grip, all right, squeeze the shit out of it. Trigger, press it straight back. That's the thing. And that's where it becomes weird, because your finger is kind of on a hinge. So when you go to do it, it kind of naturally wants to do this a little bit. And that's why you're pulling your Glock to the left, right? And I say Glock because it's mainly, Glock shooters that do this. But that's why you're pulling your pistol to the left, because your trigger is not coming straight back. So it's hinging over. And the reason it's shooting low into the left is because you're flinching, which we'll talk about later. So yeah, you want to try to use the middle part of the very first pad if you can. And you want to bring this to here, okay? So you want it to kind of be as straight back as possible. But again, if you're really gripping it, even if you use the crease, it shouldn't pull too much, all right? So let me grab some ears, and we're going to take some shots of these shooting C's. I've got them at about 7. So this is about 7, 8, something like that. So, the 7 yards FBI thing, whatever. We got a little bit of wind, but whatever, man. I'm going to aim at the bottom shooting C over there. And this is also cold. I have not shot a single round since I've been out here. All right, that's 5 shots. Let's go have a look. So this was my first shot, second, third, and then I think fourth, fifth, right? But that's a 2x2 shoot and see or whatever, completely cold at like 7. If you can't do that at 7 yards, then don't do anything until you can. All right, grip the shit out of it and press your trigger straight to the rear. Okay, just put your sights where you want them to go, and if you're holding the gun in place as tight as you can, when you do start working the trigger, you won't be wiggling it and moving it. All right. As far as not flinching and worried too much about the recoil, you just fucking quit it. All right. So that's 7. Now I've got the steel back there. Let's go back. Now that steel is a little bit farther. That's probably about 14, 15-ish yards. So same magazine. Am I in the frame? Hopefully I'm in the frame. We'll just pretend that I am. And I'm going to shoot this a little bit faster because I'm shooting at a larger target. But same thing applies. So I'm going to get that hand all the way up. I'm going to grip this one and I'm going to squeeze the shit out of it. All right, don't forget that part. And then I'm going to pull the horseshoe apart, finger on there, and then just let it go. Now I can tell from here that's a slightly bigger group than what this was, but I was shooting faster. All right, let's see the controlled pairs with the gripping the shit out of it and pushing the trigger straight back to the rear. That last one was kind of off. That's it. So whenever you have your grip right, it'll just come right back to where it's supposed to be. Okay. All right. So Glock 19 with a dot. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to shoot this shoot and see real fast, and all the same stuff applies. I'm squeezing it pretty good with this one. I'm squeezing it pretty good with that one. Together, I'm squeezing the shit out of them, pulling the horseshoe apart, pressing the trigger straight back. All right. All right, same thing. Now we're going to go look at that group that I put on the shoot and see. So I've got, see if I can dig this marker out. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now I was shooting faster, also with a dot, and we may talk about this in another video. I'm shooting at about 7. My dot is zeroed for 15, so that means I should have been holding probably right here, maybe a touch lower than that, maybe right on the top of the thing to go there. All right. But all the same stuff applies. Squeeze the shit out of it, pull the horseshoe apart to give it that extra squeeze, and just try to work the trigger straight back as much as you can. I actually was out here one time, and a guy was out here with his wife shooting. She couldn't hit a damn thing, and I told her to grab your pistol, squeeze the shit out of it, pull the horseshoe apart, and now for the trigger press, I told her press it straight back to the rear. So what I did was, whenever you press it out, tell them to put their finger on that trigger and say straight back, 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 and tell them don't think about anything else except pulling the trigger straight back to the rear. And that's it. And when you're gripping as tight as you can, and I mean gripping the shit out of it, your dot will go right back to where you had it. So I've got it dead center of the plate, and it's right back there. Oh, didn't lock back on the last one. That's weird. I might have had my finger on the release there. So hopefully that helps. Like I said, it really is as simple as grip the shit out of it and press the trigger straight back to the rear. There's not a ton more than that, okay? We don't have to overcomplicate it or reinvent the wheel, all right? You don't have to be super fancy or say big words and make it sound extra scientific and smart or whatever. Just, dude, grip the shit out of it, pull the horseshoe apart, and press the trigger straight back to the rear, okay?